Whatever. Um,
There you go.
there, it's official now.
Thank you.
Um, the recording will take care of will take care of all that. But I was impressed with Devankar's presentation to Interact at the time. Interact being the high school aged group, and it happened to be in the Rochester area. That particular one was event was happening. And I thought at the time that Devankar was an excellent representative of Rotaract and what it meant within Rotary. So I asked Devankar to come and share some time with us to tell us his story. And more recently, I attended a Zoom meeting that he participated in or sponsored, either way. I think that was for a German group, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, doesn't matter where in the world you are, Rotaract is important. And I think it's extremely important for Rotary on an ongoing basis, because just looking at the group here, other than Devankar, the image would be that we're old folks.
And there is no senior act.
And there's, well, there might be, but we might not be around to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to his official comments this morning. But that was by way of my introduction, why I even knew of Devankar in the beginning. But his bio, if you don't remember it, if you read it or whatever, he's a current fourth year student at Wayne State University and a member of and ex-president of the Wayne State University Rotaract Club. I won't hold it against him because that's in District 6400. But, you know, when you cross 8 Mile Road, even by electronic means, as far as I'm concerned, he's a good representative of what Rotaract could be. He's a current Rotaract representative in District 6400, which is understandable, but because of the fact that he's becoming a speaker around the area, he has been appointed as the Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 28, the East team for 2020-2021. And he's been working closely with past District Governor Michael Angelo Caruso. And we all recognize him, of course, because he is the recent past District Governor of District 6380. Devankar has attended a few Rotary conferences. His most recent was the 2020 Rotary International Assembly in San Diego. And he was chosen to be one of the 60 Rotaractors worldwide to have that privilege of being there to provide information to the incoming district governors from all over the world. So enough of me talking about Devankar. I want Devankar to talk to us about himself and how he sees Rotaract and where that might fit within Rotary, certainly within southeastern Michigan and southwestern Canada. But however that works, he'll share his message, and then we can pester him with questions about whatever our interests are. So Devankar, it's up to you. It's your show.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for this opportunity. Hey, everybody, I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about my passion and Rotaract and everything. And so I'm just going to share my screen. You guys can see my screen.
We can now. Yep.
Hopefully you guys can see a picture of my Rotaract friends. And so talking a little bit about what Rotaract really is, it comes down to understanding that Rotaract and Interact are very different. I think there's a common misconception of Rotarians that kind of group them together because they're both youth programs in a way, but Rotaract has the equivalency of recognition of membership that Rotarians have as of 2 years ago now, or I think it's been a year now, where Rotary International officially recognized Rotarians recognized Rotaractors as Rotarians. And so it's now more than ever important to engage with the young people and engage with your community to expand your membership, to expand your reach and expand your focus of providing service in the world and allowing young people, 18 to 30-year-olds, to get involved, whether they're young professionals, whether they're students. It's very important that we do that so we can create that longevity of membership. And a lot of clubs are now only doing that. A lot of clubs are now only getting into it. And so it's important that you are just aware that it is something that you guys can do. So in order to make that kind of happen, I just want to show you guys a little bit about what experiences I personally have gone through with Rotaract today. And then I'm going to be highlighting a little bit of how to engage younger people, maybe using social media a little bit more effectively. And because a lot of the people that you're trying to target, they live on social media practically. And so if you know how to handle or utilize it a little bit more efficiently, you'll be able to reach that audience that you may not be able to reach. And hopefully you can get a young professional based Rotaract club of sorts to get started in your area. I know that you have the U of M Rotaract, and I know that Eastern Michigan Rotaract was active at one point, not sure if they still are. And I know that there's a Livingston County area Rotaract potentially, possibly. Last time I checked, there was. So you do have a few Rotaract clubs in your district, but I don't care about district. These are just lines that we imaginary create. We are practically neighbors. I mean, you guys are Farmington. I'm in Canton or I'm in Detroit. So you're 20 minutes either way for me.
Yep.
And so in that sense, it's very important that we try to make this happen.
We agree.
So yes, good. I'm very happy. So here is a photo of pre-COVID during travel. This is January 2020, actually, last year, 13 months ago, and I was able to attend the Rotary International Convention. Not Rotary International Convention, Rotary International Assembly. So the Rotary International Assembly, as you know, pastors or governors, it's a place for governors, district governors, to attend each year to exchange ideas with each other and get trained. It's a training program for multiple days. It happens in San Diego. And for the past 2 years now, Rotary International has been inviting Rotaractors to attend. They've been inviting 60 Rotaractors to attend this, to exchange ideas with the DGs and basically do kind of what I'm doing today for you guys,
Good.
but at a scale that they can kind of touch DGs from all over the world. So it's 535 district governors, 60 Rotaractors, and then the DG's family members, spouses, and things like that. And it's just an amazing event. And I was so happy and excited to attend this, where I was able to represent not only Michigan, but the United States, because I was one of 5 Rotaractors from the US, which is pretty cool. And as you can see in the front row middle, that's your Rotary International President, Holger Kanak from Germany. And so he was very, very engaged with us Rotaractors, and I got to make so many amazing friends through this. And this is what the experiences I think Rotaract has to offer for young people: the opportunity to travel to places that Rotary International helps provide the way to get there. And as you can see up here, my little Rotary banner on my door that says Rotary opens opportunities. And I think that's what Rotaract, being in Rotaract, allowed me to learn, is that Rotary really opens opportunities. And so, these are photos from the conference. Being at this was really amazing. My buddy to the right of me, Steven, he's from Australia. And then the girl next to Holger Kanak, she is from Czech. She's from the Czech, and then left to her, he's from Italy. So, like I said, opportunities that were available to me and getting involved allowed me to have like lifelong friendships, world travel, managing time. I usually give this aspect of the presentation to interactors, and I usually give this to other Rotaractors, maybe who are new. So it allows them to kind of see what the bigger picture is. Because when I was in Interact, I personally didn't have anyone to tell me any of this. And so now I'm just trying to make it so more interactors also know about this, but also Rotarians know about this, because I think after Interact, you kind of just like get lost and you don't really continue your Rotary membership. And so I want to make sure that interactors have that idea that it's more than Interact. Interacts are very community based. Rotaract really allowed me to see like, wow, I can go here, I can go over there, I can have friends in South America and Europe. And Interact does that to some degree, but it's not like to the level of Rotaract. And so I want to tell you guys a story about a little Rotaract moment that I had. Everybody has a Rotary moment in their membership. Where they're just like, wow, I'm proud to be a Rotarian. And I'm like, this is my Rotaract moment. And this is what I share to young people around the world. And so here is the Presidential Peacebuilding Conference, as you can see on the brochure of 2018 that I attended. I was on the environmental sustainability and peace. It was in Vancouver, BC. And this is the first time I had left the US for like a Rotary conference. This was my first international conference.
Wow.
And I was so happy to go to this. And Vancouver was an amazing place, very beautiful. And so basically at this conference, they talked about how to get involved with local environmental projects. And they also talked about SRAG. Do you guys know about SRAG? ESRAG? Okay, well, one of you do. That's good. SRAG is the Environmental Sustainability Rotarian Action Group. So SRAG is a place that Rotarians can actually join virtually, and they have their meetings online, and I'm sure you can find them on Facebook, as well as if you just Google search them, ESRAG Rotary. And it's a place, virtual place, where you can meet with other Rotarians who are focusing on environmental projects. And essentially at the international convention or other large conventions, they meet up in person. And so you can actually meet up with your friends or cohorts that you meet. And it's an international group. There's also WASRAG, which is WASRAG, and that's Water and Sustainability Rotarian Action Group. And then there's the largest one, which is RAFGP, RAFGP. That's Rotarian Action Group for Peace. RAG. It's known as RAG for Peace. RAG for Peace. You can also Google search them. They're headquartered in Portland. And so they actually have, they're large enough that they actually consider themselves their own nonprofit. So they have their own operations that they're doing over there. And essentially they are working with Rotary clubs. And they also nominate and designate Rotary clubs around the world as peace builder clubs. So like, for example, the Rotary Club of Detroit submitted an application for that. And now Rotary Club of Detroit is an official peace builder club. So you can get a certificate for your club for doing peace building efforts. And so if you guys want to look into these groups, I think they're a great place. So anywho's, I went to this with one of my good friends. And so we had the mission to just learn about environmental sustainability, learn about what Rotary is doing and everything like that. And so at that convention, we were able to exchange ideas with Rotarians, and we met a few Rotaractors there as well to understand, what are you doing in your local communities to bring environmental change. And at that convention, I met a Rotarian who's from Northern California, and his name was Salvador Rico. And Salvador is an amazing Rotarian who is so involved with SRAG and WashRag. He helps with these projects in Mexico, South America, in Mexico and in South America, called Cleaning of the Rivers of the World. And Cleaning of the Rivers of the World is a project where he helps essentially go out to Mexico, and he helps clean those rivers out. What I mean by that is they remove large pieces of litter and debris that is caught in the water supply, and essentially provide clean water to the community. And at that, I was able to sorry, just going through some photos. Here's him, and I was able to meet some of his other friends who were also from Mexico, and some Rotaractors, and we were able to talk about, wow, this is an amazing initiative. I would love to make it out there and do this project. And at the time when I attended this conference, the Wayne State Rotaract Club was just reborn, and I was working on really building it up. And so I told him, hey, for my next year's goal, I would love to come out to Mexico and bring some Wayne State Rotaractors to attend. So I set a goal for myself, and that goal was to actually attend this and try to make this an international service trip for our members. Well, fast forward about 6 months later, that's Salvador. Fast forward about 6 months later, we had hosted a blood drive. So 2018 comes around, and the polar vortex happens, which was horrible. And because of the polar vortex, there was a blood shortage around the area. And because of that, I wanted to try to raise blood donation at Wayne State to essentially provide for people that are in need. So one donation of blood can help save up to 3 lives. So that day, we collected 71 units of blood, which saved about 213 Michigan lives. And because of that, Michigan Blood, the organization we partnered with, provided us $10 per donor. So we raised also about $700. And then from there, we were matched by another outside organization for doing the effort. And then the Detroit Rotary Club matched that. So we were matched from another organization and a match from Detroit Rotary. In that day, we raised about close to $2,500 in that sense, which was amazing because we not only saved lives, but we raised money. So I always try to tell people, if you're doing a fundraiser, do something like that, because you are not doing multiple different initiatives at once. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
And so we took that $2,500 and we put that towards our Mexico trip, and we funded our Mexico trip. And so that provided us subsidized rates to go to Mexico, 7 Rotaractors, and we went to Mexico for about $200, which included your flight, your stay, and your other costs in there. I think it was like $500 total, so it saved everybody about $300, and that was really nice and made a lot of our members very easily to do that. So here's us on the day of the trip going to in the airport, and these are the guys that were with us. We had 2 females as well, and it was really fun. And so here we are, we're in Mexico. And so here we began partnering with the Rotaract Club in Puerto Vallarta. So we were able to go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where we helped clean this garbage. We pulled all of this out of the river. And then on the left side, as you can see, that's the after. We collected it all, sorted it all in those trash bags, and then we moved that to a recycling facility. And then those are our Rotaract friends on the right wearing their nice, bright Team Puerto Vallarta shirts, which I should have worn today. And it was amazing because when you go on an international trip, you not only have to, you have the opportunity to work with these Rotaractors or Rotarians, which they took care of us like we were celebrities. Let me tell you that. The Rotaractors and the Rotarians, oh my goodness, like they just took us to different restaurants. They took us to different places to see. They took us to different Rotaract and Rotary Club meetings. So there's a cultural exchange. It happened all over our spring break. And so this was an amazing experience. You get to really broaden your perspective, and I was really happy for that. And so if you fast forward after our Mexico trip, right here in the front, in the red, and next to him, the lovely lady, those two, they're Rotaractors from Puerto Vallarta. That's Cesar and his wife, Valeria. And everyone that's me in the middle. And on the right, those are our Wayne State Rotaractors. They actually came out to Detroit, which was amazing. So they came to Chicago, and then I mentioned, hey, if you wanted to take a 4-hour train here, we'd love to host you guys. You guys can stay at our place, and we'll tour you around. So because of that trip, it allowed another experience, an opportunity for Rotaractors who now we became friends with to now explore a place they've never been to, and they've never been to Detroit. So we were really happy that we got to provide them that first-time experience.
Excellent.
And so if you look at Rotaract and see how going to the one conference in Vancouver led me to meet somebody, and that led me to plan a conference, which then eventually led to the opportunity of bringing someone to here. That's like the streamline is what I try to show and allow people to see that that's what Rotaract provided me. It provided me that opportunity, and I'm so grateful to have that experience. So yeah, I always try to show people, where you could be anywhere in the world, and that's what it's all about. So now that I've kind of explained to you guys a little bit about my Rotaract story, a little bit about what Rotaract is, I'm going to kind of break this time off before transitioning to the next topic to questions or comments for everybody.
Anybody?
I'll go with one.
Yeah.
So I was district governor in 1718.
Yep.
And
1718?
yeah,
That's a few years ago.
27.
Before the revolution.
And I can well remember going doing a district governor visit to the Rotaract Club at the University of Michigan. And I know for a fact that I was the first district governor to do that. And I got there on campus there. The meeting was to start at 8 o'clock in the evening. And you got to remember, I'm over here on the Canadian side, so it made for a late evening. So I got there about 10 to 8, and there was not hardly a soul around. And then by 8 o'clock, there were 40 Rotaracts. 40. I couldn't believe they just came in like ants. And that's where I learned that a room full of Rotaractors can have lots of energy and lots of enthusiasm. And it was built for 1 hour, and that's what it was. And so that's one of the highlights of my year, was attending that Rotaract meeting on the campus there in U of M. So I had some contact with your campus, Wayne State, but didn't do a visit there. Of course, I was in 6400.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really pleased what Rotary International's done since that time to permit governance-wise Rotaractors to have equal status with Rotary clubs and Rotary members literally around the world. And of course, I think you're right about the 1 year ago. 2 years ago, it was kind of getting ready for, and then a year now. I think that's the case there.
Yep.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that, Barry. Really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you were the first DG that actually did that. And I know your predecessors, I think, did follow with that. Well, obviously now the pandemic and things being all virtual, it is harder and also easier. It's a weird time where you can actually make that effort. I will always open the opportunity for you guys to attend our Wayne State Rotaract Club meetings. Ours happen at Monday at 8:30 p.m. So I know it's a little bit late for you guys, but it's about 12 hours. 12 hours later than you got this meeting. So we have our nighttime meetings. And so we already had we had them every other week. So our next one is, give me a second. It is going to be, we just had it this week. It's going to be March 1st, Monday, March 1st. So I will send Lynn the invitation, and hopefully he can send it out to you guys. Barry, if you are on the Farmington Hills mailing list, I'm sure then you will get that invite.
We'll make
sure. Have you guys just attend and see how kind of our setup is for virtual.
Yep, we'll make sure.
I'll make sure I do that for sure. It's what I call cross-border shopping.
Yes, I like that term. Um, okay, and so anybody else have any other questions or comments so far?
Not yet, apparently.
Well, I just want to make it somehow also easy to I don't know, just I think over time it's hard for the connection between Rotaract and Rotary because I think many Rotarians kind of are aware about what they are, but I think all about bridging the gap between each other is what's important. So yeah, I mean, if you're able to try to get in touch with your U of M chapter or your Livingston area one, I believe, I think those are also good. But definitely, you are welcome to come to the Wayne State meeting online. Do your online shopping. I like that term, and see if you can create a similar club in Farmington. Farmington is a booming area. I know that personally because I have friends who they know a lot of people that work down over there. Live down over there, and so it's definitely a place where there are a good amount of young professionals that live there. We can try to make it happen. I'd love to connect with you guys on that front and maybe do a club that might work in your area.
Sure.
Doing a Farmington maybe evening Rotaract club where you guys they meet online and then eventually in person 6-7 p.m. for at like a local sports bar, something like that type of
Yep.
model. That's something that the young people would probably like to do. Young people try to be around the cocktail hour, and that usually works for them.
That we can do.
Well,
and I can. Yeah, sorry, go on.
if I maybe I'll just jump in here now. I'm glad to hear that there's still some chatter of setting up a Rotaract club over in the Livingston area. I know the idea was starting to be developed going back now 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be a Rotaract club at Oakland University, but it went flat before my time. So I have no idea as to whether there's any activity over in Oakland yet or not.
I'm not sure if there is. I know there was one at least at the end of 2019, because at the end of 2019, I hosted a statewide Rotaract conference here at Wayne State where we invited Oakland, and the president did come out, and he did make it out here. And U of M was here, and EMU was here. So those were the 3 clubs from your district that did come out. Because every year there is a Rotaract state meeting. Luckily, that year I brought it to Wayne State. We are aiming to bring it to Ann Arbor at U of M actually in 2022. I got to talk to the Ann Arbor club about it and see if it's possible. But that's all like speculation right now, and we don't know what's happening with everything being COVID.
I'm glad to hear about the MU because I was trying to set up a visitation there for that club, but there just wasn't enough energy at that time. So it appears that maybe it's been rejuvenated.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the thing. So, yeah, I mean, I can just move on to the next topic, which should be, yeah, so here's our statewide conference that we had. So, and also one of our friends from Puerto Vallarta, he also made it out here. So that's another bonus. It wasn't just those 2 that came out for Chicago. We actually had Ricardo, who's the president of the Puerto Vallarta Rotaract Club. We invited him especially, and he came out. So that was cool. And then we had Central Michigan, as you can see. They came out. These are our Wayne State members. We're wearing the shirts and our lanyards. Everyone had lanyards, but these are the Wayne State shirts, the blue ones. Right here, he's I forget his name at the moment, but he was the president of OU. Michael Caruso, he was one of the speakers. We had some EMU, U of M over here. This is U of M. Alma College, Cadillac, Northern Michigan. It was a pretty good turnout. And then John Chambers, who was our DG at the time. our district DG.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I love this quote. I mean, this is something that I live by, is that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And just like that day when we were in that room together with all the Rotaractors, the powerful energy, ideas, and enthusiasm is definitely what I think is what drives change. And I'm really happy for being around such passionate young people. So my next thing was going to transition like using social media effectively. And so I think it's just important to see and hear, exchange some tips if you have any suggestions, because I'm also, like you guys mentioned, I am the assistant public image coordinator for the zone. So I try to help Rotaract and Rotary clubs around our zone to just understand a little bit more about what they can do to better themselves online. And I think that's what's really important. So far, who here do you guys have? I'm not, because I didn't check earlier. Do you guys have an active Facebook page on for Farmington Rotary?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And who here kind of runs it, or is it somebody else that's not here today on the meeting?
Guilty. That would be me.
Okay, very cool. And how do you feel like you are doing on there? Do you feel like you're doing pretty well, or do you feel like you are in need of any, help or anything?
We always need help.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay, well, here is a little thing. Have made a presentation for that, and I can just run some tips through you guys.
Sure.
Wrong button.
Please.
Run a few tips for you guys. So these are 3 social media tips that I can share with you. And one thing that we try to also really emphasize is that people that are having larger Rotary clubs that need a lot of content kind of being pushed out, there's a way that you guys can actually develop a schedule for taking posting. And scheduling posts in advance is very effective because it allows for you to just like not have to constantly worry about when the next thing is going to do. And another thing is, does your club have a public image chair? So in this case, I would say you would be the public image chair just because you work on the Facebook page and things like that. Recognizing your public image chair is important because every district is supposed to have a public image chair, and you should talk with your district public image chair on anything support that you guys need to help grow your page. The next thing is to really show your club in action. So one thing that I really do and I like doing is every time we have a meeting like right now, or you have a different speaker, you should take a screenshot of your meeting. And to do a screenshot, it's something that allows you to kind of see, oh, here are the members that were there, and here's your guest speaker. And it really shows that your club was in action when it comes to a meeting. Another thing you can do is when you have a service event or a fundraiser, post pictures of those Rotarians doing the service. And you can also visit the Rotary Brand Center if you want to Google that.
I was there this morning.
Okay, great. So the Rotary Brand Center is an excellent tool that is free for Rotarians to use. And I will show you an example of a post that's very good. So do you know how to do a screenshot?
Yes. Just
Okay,
done
great.
one.
Okay, great. Yes, that's also a very good tool. Finally, the third effective tip that I want to share with you guys is that promoting an event isn't just before, which a lot of people think that you should just put it in an email or put it on Facebook. It's also during, for example, taking a screenshot, and then after, kind of thanking the people that attended, what happened, how was your turnout, thanking the invitees, and also thanking the guests who attended. Maybe it was an organization they represented, so maybe tag their organization as well. All of that helps build that traffic, because the more tagging that you do, where who came, where they from, what organization, it allows them to really see, and their networks to see that they were at the Farmington Club, and now their networks can kind of see, hey, I want to come to a Farmington Club meeting. So it builds on like a snowball effect. So that's what I kind of have over here. So creating content is some tips here is that it's important to ask questions in your posts. Maybe be like, did you know? Or like, for example, if you did a post for Rotaract, you could easily say, did you know there are 250,000 Rotaractors worldwide? You know, a lot of people don't know that. We know there's 1.2 million Rotarians, but we don't factor in the 250,000 Rotaractors that there are worldwide. And I think that we should count that in our membership, because that makes us what, 1.4 million Rotarians. So that's even better for our numbers. It's important to give a clear call to action. That's another thing. So, for example, what people should do, what people should visit, if there's something to follow up on, everything like that. So I don't want to tell you too many numbers or stats right now. Here's an example of the Rotary St. John's East. They did a very well, like a good post in terms of traffic, a good post in terms of engagement, and everything like that. So let's talk about why did this post work. Can you guys tell me, based off this post, what here in the photos and also in the writing, what went well here? Point some things out.
Got good involvement.
It tilled the soil for some reason.
Yes. What else went well? What else do you guys see that in this post went well?
The information is segmented, so it's easy to pick out the pertinent points.
Looks like an action shot on a project.
Yes, you are correct. So it is definitely an action shot, as you can see, because you can see the Rotarians working over here in the soil and stuff. What else went well?
You got the good numbers down there at the bottom of the 4,000 reached.
Yes, so this is, your reach is only available to the page that posted this. So this is not available to the public for them seeing this. So that wouldn't technically count in why this post went well. But this is for your own understanding that as a post that you guys did, that's how many people it did reach. But over here, as you can see, you and 15 others reacted to the post, liked or whatever did to it. That is available to the public. There are a few more things that you guys are missing to why it went well. I'll give you guys like one more minute on this, and I'll reveal it.
Is this a published post after the fact, like somewhere else in their web page or something? So this is a picture of the Facebook page. Therefore, you could put in the 4,500 people reached as information that they didn't see on the original Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but then you would be reposting the same post. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it gets the word out to a bunch of other people how successful this event was.
Yeah, but this reached is for the post itself, not reached as in, yeah. Sure. So, yeah, I mean, you could do that, but that's not something normally that people think of doing. I like that idea, though, because it's, you can screenshot your original post and then just mention to people that 4,500 people did see it.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about other things that went well in this. Okay, so let's look at this. Right here exactly tells you what they did. The tulips are from their fundraiser this past summer were the Atlantic Canada, Maine, and St. Perry. So right here they talked about which clubs, what areas were involved, how much money was raised, a quantifiable value was put here. Right here, relevant organizations and partners were tagged. So not only they did tag Rotary International, they tagged the district, they tagged the lieutenant governor, which they have, which is also not something that all districts have, but it's something. A group to show the scale of the participation. So here's a group photo, and then an action shot, and then over here, 9 shares, but it allowed 4K people to be reached just because 9 people pressed this button right here.
You know what also went well?
Yep.
I'm having trouble reading, I must admit. You use a Canadian example.
Yes, that is true. We use the Canadian example.
Got your attention.
And so, yeah, that's an example of what post went well. So this is a simple tip or example of, what you guys can do to help elevate your online presence. But yes, this is Danke because I did speak to the Club of Munich, and I just thought that I should put Danke because Danke is thank you in German. And so I did not change that for this. I got to change that.
No problem.
And so yes. Anywho's, I'm gonna open up the floor to any more questions, but that's really all I have for you guys in relation to what Rotaract is, my Rotaract experience, and how to engage young people by using social media.
My first question would be, I hear so much about what not to do in social media, like what sites the young people don't use anymore. Can you explain there? Because they keep telling us don't use Facebook anymore. The kids are never there.
So you should still use Facebook because there's a platform of Rotarians at least on there. I use Facebook. I mean, I am definitely, yeah, I do see that there are more and more people that don't use it, but there are a decent amount of people that do use it that are in my generation. So yes and no. I wouldn't say you shouldn't use it. You should still continue to use your Facebook. But if you want to target more young people, then I would have to say that you could try to get on Instagram, which is similar to Facebook. And Instagram, if you want to just watch some YouTube videos on how to use Instagram, or talk to me about it too another time, which I can explain to you how to use more. But it's very simple to use.
Yeah, if we use Instagram.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's young people on there. But you don't have to really think too much about that because at the end of the day, there are going to be young professionals and stuff like that on there. If you want to hit that more young professional crowd, use LinkedIn. If you want to, really try to get out there, I would say my advice to you is use Facebook and then use LinkedIn. Don't worry too much about Instagram for when it comes to this type of stuff. Of bringing new attention in, because Instagram really only gets to your own following.
Correct.
But LinkedIn and Facebook, they go past people's following because other people can see what other people are kind of engaging with. So LinkedIn is a great tool for that.
Devankar, how long have you been a Rotaractor?
I've been a Rotaractor since 2016.
Okay, so to make my point, my sense is that the profile of Rotaractors has really gone up pretty strong in the last 3, 4, 5 years, I guess I'll say now. Do you sense that as well? The profile and the recognition of Rotaractors in Rotary International?
Yes, because not only did Rotary International designate Rotaractors as officially Rotarians, which I think that's why we should also add them into our 1.2 million total membership. But Rotaractors also are now able to apply for global grants. So that's a very big thing. As you know, Rotary clubs can apply for a global grant where they partner with another international Rotary club and they can get a project done. Now Rotaract clubs can do it too through Rotary International. And I haven't taken advantage of it yet, but I'm really planning on doing that soon. Yes, I think there's because of President Barry Razin and then his following presidents, they've been really pushing for it. I think they realize that if they don't tap into that young demographic, they're really going to just be that old person club. And we don't want them to continue to have that image only because it's important for membership to continue. And it's also important that we think about Rotary's future. And to think about Rotary's future and its ability to survive, because service organizations around the entire globe have suffered in the past 50 years. If you look, it's kind of been slowly declining.
Yep.
It's something that is very necessary.
Well, I can well remember being in San Diego, talking about needing to do more profiling on Rotaractors. And of course, as you can see, that's really gone forward quickly. And it's for people like yourself that's making that work.
No, thank you so much. I really think it's important to. And there's so many resources available that we just tap into. So I would love to see the ability to hopefully a Farmington area club can get born.
Well, good on you.
Thank you so much. But yes, keep in touch, guys, with attending meetings. I mean, you guys are all on Facebook, and you guys can see that there are a lot of online meetings happening. Just like my friends in Munich who invited me to speak, there are so many Rotaract clubs having their meetings online, just like you guys. Just join in and attend one, because Lynn, I sent him the invitation for the Munich meeting, and then I was like, hey, Lynn, in 5 minutes this is happening. If you want to see what I want to be talking about to your club, join in. And he just joined in, and then you can actually literally online shop with all these other Rotaractors, and I think you guys can do that. So I'm inviting you guys to come to the Wayne State meeting, and there are so many clubs online. If you just look up on Facebook Rotaract Club and you guys can find whatever, and their meeting time and meeting dates are usually just provided for you. So I think that's what we should use and utilize in this virtual setting, is that now you can attend more meetings than you could ever in your life, because you can literally be on 5 meetings. Like later today in the evening, I'm presenting to the Gros Seal Rotary in my district. And so this morning I presented to you guys. It's like in one day I presented to 2 Rotary clubs. And look, I'm not a DG. I don't have the ability to go travel and drive from here to Farmington to Gros Seal as much, but now I can do it virtually. It's pretty amazing.
We agree.
Thanks a whole bunch for your presentation this morning.
Absolutely.
You hit on every topic that I was hoping you would. And I guess the only thing I would hope further is that somehow or other, you can help us be instrumental in getting that club started in Farmington Hills area.
Yep.
Because I think we've got all the raw materials to work with. We just haven't gotten to the right point of putting them all together. So with that, we do only a couple of things that make it kind of a formal meeting. We started the meeting with the ringing of the bell. At the end of the meeting, we recite the Rotary 4-way test and ring the bell again to end the meeting. So I just mentioned to everybody again, a refresher, that we do record these meetings and they become a part of our library on our website. And if you have any reason to want to go back and refresh your memory on any of the comments that Devankar made, you can go to our library, pull up the YouTube and watch it. I think we'll probably have it ready tomorrow or maybe even later today, but
It will be later today.
yeah, it's a matter of being there. It's a matter of record. Now we just have to do something with it. So with that, at the end of the meeting, we recite, whatever you wish, the Rotary 4-way test. First, is it the truth? Second, fair to all.
Concerned.
Third,
Will
build
goodwill and better
friendship.
friendships.
Fourth,
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
So thank you all for being here. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. See you all later.
Good day,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good meeting.
Thank you.
Take
Good
care,
meeting, yes.
everybody. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brian.